Hey, it's Megan here. I just wanted to update you guys. I know every video says I'm going to update you, and then it's like months in between, and I really apologize for that. I need to get better at this whole vlogging thing. Um, but okay, so a ton of things have happened since the last video post that I had up. Um, we chose an agency. I think I mentioned that in the last one. And we started our classes, and actually tomorrow, Tuesday, is our last class for foster care classes, which are called ps-maps, at least here in Arizona. I don't know if that's what they're called in every state. But anyways, we are almost done. Tomorrow's the last class, and we have literally rushed. I mean, this is one of those accelerated classes where you're going twice a week for 3 hours at a time, and so it's a quicker process. But the awesome thing about that is that not only do you finish the classes faster, but you also get your licensing done faster. And the agency that we're with is amazing. They honestly have helped us every step of the way. They have an amazing heart, and they're a Christian-based agency, which has been really cool to experience that too, because they have the same, not just emotional support, but they also have spiritual support for us, and they really try and get us prepared realistically, tell us everything to expect, and the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, all of that. They don't try and hide anything. So it's been a really good experience, and they have helped us get our paperwork in really fast. Literally almost all of our paperwork is done, and this class was, I can't remember when it started, but it was a total of 10 classes, 2 at a time a week. So if that makes sense, like Tuesday, Thursday we went, and then Tuesday, Thursday the next week we went. So a total of 10 of those. So it was about a month or a month and a half, I think, total, which is super fast. And the fact that we finished almost all of our paperwork in that time is amazing. So the exciting thing is that our last class is this week, and then it takes about a month for the licensing and all that to happen. So within a month, we could potentially have a kid, which is crazy, like super crazy. Makes me kind of teary-eyed, makes me excited, and it also terrifies me, honestly, because I feel like we're emotionally ready and all that, but I feel like, oh my gosh, we need to get like a crib still, we need to get a car seat, we need to get a ton of things. But it's kind of been hard because our age range is technically it's 0 to 2 for foster care and or adoption, and then we also are getting licensed for 0 to, I think, 6 for foster care and respite care. Respite is when you give, other foster parents, a break. It's kind of like babysitting, but they might stay the night for a night or two, or just for a couple hours. So we're getting licensed for that too, to help out other foster parents. But we could really get a kid from in between those age ranges, and the main one being 0 to 2. But that's like huge. I mean, anybody who out there who's ever parented or watched kids knows that there's a big difference from a 0, a newborn right out of the hospital, to a 2-year-old and what they need. So it's been hard to really determine what to get. But the amazing thing is there are a ton of people that help out, different not corporations, what's the word? I guess nonprofits, that help foster families. And you might get a baby placed with you and you don't have what you need, so you can call them and say, okay, I just got a child placed with me, I need this, and they will do their best to provide that for you. But then also our church, City of Grace, they are super amazing, and they have helped start an initiative here in Arizona to literally kind of wipe out the need for foster parents, because we want to take over this and say we're going to help all these kids, and we're going to empower families, not only from our church but from churches all around in Arizona, to band together and to help these kids and provide a family, a home for them, and give them unconditional love, no matter whether they stay with you for a week or they stay with you forever. So I think that's really cool. And so with that, they've created a lot of different connections with people who provide different services to people who are becoming foster families. So I know that we are taken care of, and I'm not, truly not too worried about having the physical things we need, because I know God's going to provide, and there's so many different, ways that we can get those things. But it's kind of crazy to think that in a month we could actually have a baby. And the, exciting part is we get to be parents and get to experience all of that. The scary part is that we don't know what that means as far as this baby that comes to us, or this 2-year-old that comes to us. Are they going to be with us just a week, a month, a year? Or are they going to be possibly, are we going to be able to adopt them? Because that does happen. That there's times where parental rights are severed and you're able to adopt a child. But the main thing that we've learned over and over again throughout our training and throughout our classes is that the goal is to help the family, especially through this Christian agency that we're going through. Like, they want you to be involved with the family and help reach out to them, invite them to church, invite them to dinner, help them get their life straight so that they can have their child back. And me and Josue are on board with that. We're totally understand that the most ultimate awesome turnout would be that this child's family, whatever struggles they had, that they are able to overcome them and beat them, and then their lives will be to be healthy and whole, and that they can get their child back. And so we are partnering with our agency, with our church, with Arizona, with all foster care to meet that goal with whatever child comes to us. But the reality is that means that we might have to say goodbye a lot of times before we get the child that God has chosen for us. But then again, we might get a child, and that the first one's the one that we are able to adopt. And like I had talked about the rights being, I think, severed, or there's different terminology for it, but that only occurs if parents over a certain amount of time don't do anything to try and get better. They ask the parents to do random drug testing, to go to rehab, or to get a job, or get out of an abusive relationship, whatever the things are, and they give them a long time. So anybody of you are a skeptic and think that the government's trying to take kids and not reunify the family, just know they are. Like, they push that really hard, that the goal is to reunify the family, but only once the family, the parents, are healthy enough to take that child, so that they aren't going back into abuse or neglect or any of that. So the only time that the rights will ever get severed is if those parents are really not trying at all, because they give them a lot of chances, and they really try to work with them. So, but then there are also children that are currently in the system that the parental rights have already been severed, but they haven't found an adoptive family for. So we're also going to be, I guess, on a list, or on the call list for that if there's children that meet like the age range that we had said and all that they think is a good match, that we could get a call for that too. So that would be really awesome. But anyways, I just really wanted to let you guys know how much has changed already since the last video post. And let me just show you something real quick. Hold on. Right here. This is like our folder with all our paperwork and all the information, and a little tabs right there that we use on a weekly basis to do our foster care classes, the homework that comes with it, and then the paperwork also. And it's been a crazy adventure, but I feel so much more supported than I did when I was trying to do this, a year ago on my own. And I'm going way faster. And yeah, it's really awesome. And my husband also, I have to say, I'm super proud of him because he has done so much in the last couple of months as well. We moved back to Arizona from Ohio, and he's been working at our church, and he's been just doing an amazing job, and I'm really proud of him. Proud of you, honey. And he's really working hard in the youth ministry, and he's just doing an amazing job. And then he's also about to start college again, which I know it's kind of crazy that we're going to start foster care. He's got this job and college. But he's going to be doing online college, and he's going to finish his Christian studies degree, which he had started a couple years ago, and then just from different circumstances had never finished it. So he's only got like, I think, 10 classes left, so he should be done in a year, which is really awesome and exciting for him and for me as well. And so just, I feel like we're in a season of blessing, and there have been times though where we have felt under attack. And any of you that are, Christian, you understand what that is like. When you are trying to do things that are on God's path for you, you can get spiritually attacked. That the enemy, Satan, is mad. He doesn't want you on that track. He wants to distract you and confuse you. And we've been through ups and downs. There were days where I was crying, feeling like this isn't going to happen. Feeling like I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Am I going to be a good mom or a housewife? I'm like, am I going to be a good dad? Can we handle this right now? But that we're just going to keep moving forward and asking that, if this for some reason is not what we're supposed to do, that God will close that door. Because in our lives, He has always worked that way. With the failed adoption from a year ago, that's how it was. We had an opportunity to possibly adopt, and we just asked God, like, this is what we want this, but we also want it to be part of your plan, and we ask that if you don't want it to happen, that, you don't allow it to. And He didn't. He closed the door on that. And even though that was really, really hard, looking at it now, I see why. And I see a lot of great things that have come from that. The mother of that child is doing amazing, and she's raising her baby awesomely, and super proud of her. And I know that her and her baby were supposed to be together. And I know that right now is the time for us, that God has put us into this route of foster care for a reason, and that we get to, with this, help children, not just to fulfill, our wants and our desires, but that we get to also help families and help the children, and that I just think it's really cool because, we are talking to some awesome people in our class. Shout out to Rebecca and Ben. They are going through a lot of the same things we've gone through, and it's been really an amazing blessing to meet with them and to talk with them and to just share and swap stories. But they were sharing how at one point they were at some church service, and the pastor was talking about how he believes that for now that God has allowed some families for basically the wombs to be closed for now, to open their hearts to foster care. And I thought that was amazing and beautiful, because that is how I feel. I feel like, maybe we wouldn't have ended up here at this point if we had just had children when we started. I mean, we could have 2, possibly even 3 children by now when we first started to try to have kids, and I don't think I'd be thinking at all about wanting to take in more kids. But I know that God already knows what kids are going to come into our lives, and like I said, whether it's for a short time or to be a forever family. And I'm just excited, and just asking for you guys' prayer to continue to have peace and to continue on this road with no distractions. And for those of you who have any questions or comments, anything, you can message me privately, or you can send a comment down at the bottom. And if you are wondering about some of my background story, if you've never watched any of the other videos, I will put a link right there to my very first one, and then you can just watch it in order all the way through until then. Hopefully the next video I have will be celebrating whatever child is with us. While I won't be able to show you, which is going to be so hard for me as a photographer and enjoying to make videos and all that, I'm not going to be able to show you what child is with us, just out of their protection for them until we potentially adopt a child. But I can kind of update you and give you some like hints to the child, and just so that you can have an idea of what we're experiencing. And I can't wait to update you more and just share with this. And I hope that through this video I also connect with more adoptive or foster parents or anybody struggling with infertility. So I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I can't wait to see you next time.